Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gokulananda. Jaya Radha Kalachandi Radha Kalachandi Radhe. Jaya Radha Kalachandi Radha Kalachandi Radhe. Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe. Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe. Oh Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govinda Shri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govinda Shri Radhe. Radhe Kala Chandi, Radhe Kala Chandi. Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govinda Shri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Shri Radhe Gurudev 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 Jai Gurudev Jai Jai Gurudev 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 Jai Gurudev Anitai Gaur Haribo 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 Anitai Gaur Haribo Anitai Gaur Haribo 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 Gaura Haribo Harinama Sankirtan ke Srila Gurudev Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ke Srila Prabhupada ke Gaura Premanande Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Vrivrajagacharya Astotara Satashi Srimad His Divine Grace Lacy Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Vrivrajagacharya Astotara Satashi Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shyadeta Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana ki Shri Vrindavan Dhama ki Shri Navadvip Dhama ki Kalachanji Dhama ki Ganga Mai ki Jamuna Mai ki Bhakti Devi ki Tulsi Maharani ki Harinam Sankirtan ki Brihat Mridanga ki Prasadam Distribution ki Samabeda Bhaktivinoda ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada ki. His Divine Grace Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki.
Great, great, thank you. Hare Krishna. So now we'll listen to a class by Srila Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Just setting it up right now. Yeah, momentarily we'll get started. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Jananjana Salakaya Chaksul Midatam Jaina Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stapitam Jaina Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Swapantantikam Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Jatapatakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupang Sagrajatan Sahagana Ragunatan Nitans Chatam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Padijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishaka Natamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Saman Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesa Sunnavadi Paschattate Shatarne Panchakalpa Tarubhaischa Kripa Shindu Bhivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So we are going to discuss a very important book known as Madhurya Kadambini. The author of this book is Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is a most important spiritual master in the line of Lord Chaitanya. Srila Prabhupada has taken so much inspiration from the words of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur when he translated and commented on the Bhagavad Gita. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam, and practically in all of the important scriptures, this person, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, is the ideal person to hear from. He strictly follows the line of Srila Rupa Goswami. And we want to follow in the footprints of Srila Rupa Goswami, and one day we want to be able to qualify ourselves to be Rupa Anugas, to follow Rupa Goswami. Because whatever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given the world, he has done so through certain principal persons, amongst whom the most important is Rupa Goswami. Srila Prabhupada lived for many years in the Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan, and his kitchen looked over the Samadhi and Bhajan Kutirs of Srila Rupa Goswami. So it is very important that we understand this person, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, his explanations about devotional life, and in particular this book. This book is very, very important for us because it describes the path of devotion, beginning from the stage of faith to the highest platform of love of God. So we should understand something about the title, Madhurya Kadambini. First of all, what is the meaning of Madhurya? Madhurya means sweetness. And Lord Chaitanya is the personification of sweetness. Because he has come, he is Krishna himself. Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. Swayam Bhagavan. Ete chamsa kalaha pungsa Krishna stu Bhagavan Swayam. He is the original form of the Lord. There are so many incarnations mentioned in Scripture, and Krishna is the root of all. So when Krishna wants to experience taste, rasavaisaha, the Vedas describe that he becomes the personification of rasa. And that person who relishes the highest amount of rasa, that is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And which rasa does he come to relish? Which taste does he want to relish especially? He wants to relish the taste of the devotion of the devotees of Vraja. Vraja means the greater Vrindavan area. He wants to relish the mood of service rendered by the devotees of Vrindavan. In the Nectar of Devotion, you will find that there are different types of devotees described. Sometimes there are devotees we find in Jagannath Puri, in Dwarka, in Mathura, and in Vrindavan. All of these places are places of Krishna Bhakti. And the Nectar Devotion explains, Rupa Goswami states, that Krishna is perfect, more perfect, and most perfect. Where is Krishna perfect? In Dwarka. And where is he more perfect? In Mathura. And where is he most perfect? In Vrindavan. So why is it said that he is perfect, more perfect, and most perfect? Because he reveals more and more of his sweetness. More in Mathura than in Dwarka, more in Vrindavan than in Mathura. What type of sweetness? The sweetness of his form. The form which Krishna shows. Shama Sundar, the threefold bending form which he displays in Vrindavan, is the most attractive of all forms. It is mentioned that even when Krishna was in Dwarka, a drama was performed. And in this drama, it was a drama of Vrindavan. So the actor came on the stage dressed as Vrindavan Krishna. And the Krishna of Dwarka was watching this drama. And when he saw that Krishna in the actor's form, he immediately wanted to grow and embrace that form, because it was so attractive. Similarly, the residents of Dwarka sometimes become very anxious to hear about the pastimes of Vrindavan. In other words, everything about Vrindavan is very, very, very sweet. So Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, who wants to relish the form, the qualities, the pastimes, the name, the associates, everything of Vrindavan. And therefore it is said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the personification of sweetness. His mercy is compared to be like an unlimited rain shower. Sometimes we see that rain comes and pours down for a while. And then after a while it stops. But the mercy of Lord Chaitanya is unlimited. Just like we have now completed Navadvip Parikrama. And especially during the kirtans, we could appreciate so much mercy was available to those who took part in the kirtan. And this is certainly the mercy of Mahaprabhu. Now, rain is essential. In the Bhagavad Gita, we find that in order to grow grains, rain is required. And in order to produce rain, yajna is required. So this rain of Lord Chaitanya, it gives mercy, or it waters the ninefold process of bhakti in the heart. Guru Krishna Prasade Bhai, Bhakti Lata Bij. Within the heart, there is the seed of devotion. Sometimes we say, Guru Krishna Prasade Bhai Bhakti Lata Bij. The spiritual master plants the seed of bhakti. However, is bhakti planted by someone or is it already there? Is the Krishna consciousness something coming from outside that is put inside us, or is Krishna consciousness already there? What is the answer? Already there. Okay. Then if we say Guru Krishna Prasade Bhai Bhakti Lata Bij, that the spiritual master plants the seed, does it mean that the seed was not there to begin with? You said it's already there. Then what does he do? He waters it. He waters it. And what is that water? It is the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the ninefold process of bhakti, beginning with Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, these are the, we can say, the different grains which are lying in the ground. In the ground there are so many grains which are planted. The seeds are planted in the ground. So there are so many different seeds which are planted. And let us say they are the ninefold process of bhakti. Even more, in Rupa Goswami has listed 64 angas, 64 parts of bhakti, different angas or different aspects of devotional life, of which 5 are very, very important. You know what those 5 are? Most potent forms of devotional service. What are they? To chant the holy name of the Lord in association with those who know how to relish the holy name. What else? To reside in a sacred place. Worship the deity of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam. And association with the devotee. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's presence is especially meant to nourish these 5 things. Lord Chaitanya came and the teachings he gave are especially meant for the nourishment of these 5. Now, when rain comes, why is it necessary for these 5? Because these 5 activities that we have just mentioned, that means Srimad Bhagavatam, worship of the deity, Mathura, living in a holy place, Nam Kirtan, and Bhagavat Sangha, the association of devotees. These 5 are especially essential for Braja Bhakti. Srimad Bhagavatam leads to the conclusion of the 10th canto. What is the 10th canto? The 10th canto are the pastimes of Krishna. So everything is leading to the pastimes of Krishna, especially Krishna's Vrindavan Leela. So chanting of the holy name, association with the devotees of Krishna, all of these things will lead to Braj Bhakti. Now, when rain comes, what does it do? It cools the earth. Just like in India, say around June, May and June become very, very hot. And finally, the only relief is when the rain comes. So, this rain of Lord Chaitanya, the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, it relieves a certain type of heat. What is the heat that it relieves? What is in the heart? Lust. Blazing fire of material existence. Samsara dava nalalita loka. Right? Every day we're singing that the mercy of the spiritual master, the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, extinguishes the blazing fire of material existence, which is lust. It is called what? Rit Rog. The heart disease. Everybody is worried in this age about a heart attack. But we all have this heart disease of lust in the heart. So the mercy of Mahaprabhu is meant to extinguish this blazing fire. In what form? So many different types of karma. Prarabdha karma, which means what? results of sins which we are presently suffering from. This is one type of sin. Then, what else? Avidya, ignorance. Aparabdha. What is aparabdha karma? Stored in the heart, but not yet manifest. Then kuta. What is kuta? Lying in a seed-like form. And what else? Bija. What does bija mean? Seed. So, different stages of sins for which we are suffering at present, which we are going to suffer from in the future, which are still far in the future, and things which we may not have even committed. All of these together are like lust in the heart. And the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is meant to eradicate all of this lust. Sometimes it is said that the heart is like a tree in the desert. Now at present, the poet Vidyapati has said that our heart is like a tree in the desert. Just like we visited Jayadev Goswami's place. So there are some very famous poets, Vaishnava poets. Jayadev, Chandidas is another one, and another one, Vidyapati. So Vidyapati has sung a song which describes how the heart is like dry as the desert. So our heart is like a tree which is in a desert, very, very dry. Lord Chaitanya's mercy immediately makes this tree very green and luxuriant. In other words, when we take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Krishna consciousness process, our hearts become relieved of lusty desires. In the 10th canto, 33rd chapter, there's a very, very nice verse which describes that when one hears the pastimes of Radha and Krishna and their loving affairs, this will extinguish the blazing fire of material lust. So, actually, it is a very unusual fact that the pastimes of Radha and Krishna appear to be just like a girl and boy together, which seems to be like ordinary lusty affairs. But actually it is the exact opposite. Because by hearing the pastimes of Krishna and his intimate associates like the gopis, all the lustiness in the heart goes away. So this book, Madhurya Kadambini, is meant to indicate to us that path that we should tread to become qualified to be able to free our hearts from all lusty desires and to relish the real nectar of the pastimes of Krishna. Even when the rain is not yet come, but is about to come, with the rumbling of the clouds, the tree already starts to bloom. In other words, when you begin to perform bhakti, even a little bit, it is called bhakti abhas. It is just like a shadow reflection of bhakti. Already, there'll be so much relief from material pangs. Just like now when we join Krishna consciousness, can we call ourselves actual devotees? Do you think that if we are devotees, and why we have just finished Navadvip Parikram and still our hearts are full of kam, krodh, so many bad things, moha, all the bad qualities are still there? So how can we call ourselves devotees? But still, one thing we experience, already the pangs of material existence are fading away. You take a look at the karmis and how much they're suffering. Devotees, even in the beginning stage, they're not suffering in the same way. So this is the benefit of devotional life. It gives us relief at once from so many types of sinful reactions. Now, furthermore, Lord Chaitanya's mercy, when it actually comes and is accepted, what will it produce? The highest thing, prema bhakti. And what is the example of this? Jagai and Madai, Chapala Gopal. These are persons who got the direct mercy of Lord Chaitanya, and without any other qualification, they experienced prema bhakti. Now, someone may say, oh, the question comes, how does bhakti, how does devotional life come? Is Lord Chaitanya's mercy causeless, or does it have a cause? And if it has no cause, then why should one work for it? Why get up for Mangal Arti? Why bother to chant your rounds? Why do anything? If you have answered that Lord Chaitanya's mercy is causeless, and we see in Jagai and Madai's case, did they have any real qualification? And yet they got the mercy of Mahaprabhu. So why should we make any effort? The answer is that His mercy is Nirankus. Ankus means the goad of an elephant. You know, just like, you have seen our elephants here in Mayapur, and the trainer has a sharp prod, right? A goad. So, does Lord Chaitanya, now this word is given here, that Lord Chaitanya's mercy, does it require some prodding? Just like an elephant will not move unless the elephant trainer has this nirankus, this goad. Is Lord Chaitanya's mercy like that? Does it require some goad? The answer is given, no. It is Svatantra. He is Svatantra. Svatantra means what? He's independent. He will not require any goad. But His mercy is freely bestowed. But then someone will say, but I have not gotten it. If His mercy is freely bestowed, then what is my situation? I haven't got it. Therefore I have to pray for it. So the answer is that although Mahaprabhu's mercy is free, and it is given to all, unfortunately everybody but myself has gotten it. And therefore, I have to pray for it. And I have to pray and pray and pray, and get up for Mangal Arti, and chant my rounds, and do everything else, because somehow I have not received the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And therefore, I'm very unfortunate. So a devotee should think like this: I'm so unfortunate that I have not got the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and therefore I have to work for it. Although it is causeless, it can come at any time of its own, but somehow I haven't gotten it. Now, another thing that is mentioned in the beginning of Madhurya Kadambini is the special quality of Rupa Goswami. Because Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has drawn his inspiration from, in all respects, from Rupa Goswami. We see that before Lord Chaitanya came, there were so many great devotees, like Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, the 9 Yogindras. They are all very great devotees, but there's one thing that they don't manifest. What is that? Huh? They don't have Braja Bhakti. We don't see in them this Madhurya nature of Braj Bhakti. Hey, do you have a fan going in that room? Is there a fan going? Here, you see there's a fan there. You can put it on. Cool your... Do you think that I would speak better if it was a bigger room? And would you be able to hear better? Is the problem the size of the room? The problem is the size of our heart. It's like a shrunken pit. It can't bring anything in. So, before Rupa Goswami, before Lord Chaitanya, there were so many great devotees. But they were not showing this Braja Bhakti. Just like Prahlad Maharaj, the 4 Kumaras especially, they're Gyani Bhaktas. Not, when we say Gyani Bhaktas, not Nirvishesh Gyan, not formless Gyan, but they're not, they believe in the form of the Lord, but their process was through Gyan. And they always remembered the Lord as Sarvaishvarya. What does Sarvaishvarya mean? All opulence. What are the 6 opulences that the Lord has? Anyone know? Anyway, you all know these opulences? All fame, all strength, all, right? So when they see, whenever they think of God, they see Him in the form of Narayan or Vishnu. This is the way they would worship the Lord. Sarvaishvarya Bhagavan. And how do they see themselves? As his servant. So this is called Dasya Bhakti. So, Lord Chaitanya, however, came, he says, you'll see in Chaitanya Chaitamrita, that when before Lord Chaitanya came, Krishna was thinking that the whole universe is full of these Sarvaishvarya Bhaktas. First, devotees who worship me as the all-opulent Lord Narayan. But hardly I find anyone who worships me in the mood of the Brijbasis. And I want that the world should worship me like this. So he decided to come as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there are 26 qualities of a pure devotee. What is the 26th quality? Full surrender, isn't it? Anyway, this one quality, full surrender. Without that quality, the other qualities are not complete. Full surrender is the most important quality of all. And this full surrender has been shown by Prahlad Maharaj, by all the great devotees. They fully surrendered. But still we see that even after they fully surrendered and had all the 26 qualities of a pure devotee, they could only go up to Vaikuntha. They could not penetrate into Goloka Vrindavan. Now why? This is a very interesting point. They had all 26 qualities, but still something more is required. And what that thing that is required is, Rupa Goswami has given. He has taught it, he has lived by it, and he has, gotten it from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this quality, this very sweet, loving type of devotion, is something which is a necessary ingredient in addition to these 26 qualities. It is the sweetness of Krishna in Vrindavan, and the feeling a devotee has who becomes mad to search after Krishna in Vrindavan. Just like we see in the prayers of the 6 Goswamis, all of their prayers are in this mood. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this Braja Bhakti, devotional service leading to Vrindavan, to those he came in contact with. But Rupa Goswami's special quality is that he has given it not only to those who he had contact with, but he gave it to the whole world. Not only during his time, but forever. He gave through his teachings, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Ujjvala Nilamani, he made Vraja Bhakti available to the whole world. And this is a special quality of Rupa Goswami, for which we are always praying. Om Abhyanantamananda. Then we say, Om Abhyanantamanandasya Jananjana Salakaya, Chaksula Militam Jena, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha, Si Chaitanya Manubhistam, Stapitam Jena Bhutalai, Swayam Rupa Kadamayam, Dadati Swapandantikam. These two prayers we're praying, first to our spiritual master, and then we pray to Rupa Goswami. Because he has given the most essential aspect of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, which is the means by which to gain Braj Bhakti. So, in the Chaitanya Chaitamrita, 3rd and especially 4th chapter, Adi Lila, you will see that what is the special purpose of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's coming. There is a verse from Adi Lila, text 4, chapter 1. Anarpita charim chirat karunayar vitana tirno kalo samar pahita muno chwala Rasam Svabhakti Shriyam Hari Purata Sundara Dyuti Kadamba Sandipita Sada Hridaya Kandara Ispuratu Vasachi Nandana. May that Lord who is known as the son of Srimati Sachi Devi be transcendently situated in the innermost chambers of your heart. Resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, he has appeared in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no other incarnation ever offered before, the most sublime and radiant spiritual knowledge of the mellow taste of his service. Unata Ujjvala Rasam means that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally came as he is Krishna. Krishna coming to understand the mood of who? Srimati Radharani. So Lord Chaitanya is personally tasting the love of Srimati Radharani that she has for Krishna. Is it possible for us to experience this? No, because Radharani is herself unique. But we cannot imitate Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this regard. But then what has he come for? Svabhakti Shriyam. He has come to distribute the treasure of his own service. That means Radharani's service. And who are those who serve Srimati Radharani? Her maidservants, of whom the foremost maidservant of all is Rupa Goswami. No, not only Lalita Vishaka, but Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami in the pastimes of Krishna, what is his name? Rupa Manjari. So, Rupa Manjari is the foremost servitor of Srimati Radharani. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come for two purposes: to taste the love that Radharani feels for Krishna, and to teach the method of serving Radharani that Rupa Manjari offers. So Rupa Goswami's teachings are for this purpose. It is to bring us to that stage where we can actually become so highly qualified that we can enter into the service of Radha and Krishna. Come in, come in. You missed so much. Oh, okay. You want to sit there? The ocean can part. Just give way a little bit. Get aboard. Vamandev took. One who follows Rupa Goswami or Rupa Manjari is called a Rupa Anuga. And we want to come to that stage. How will it be possible? Only by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Only when we get the mercy of Mahaprabhu. And therefore, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has enjoined everyone to perform this Navadvip Dham Parikrama. Because certainly you will get Mahaprabhu's mercy by doing this Parikrama. Every year we should do it. And what should we do in between? Try to do it as far as possible. Live in the Dham within the mind. Rupa Goswami has told us, if you cannot live all the time in Mayapur, Vrindavan, then what must you do? You have to live there in your mind. But you're living, you can say, well, I'm living in where? Moscow, or Sydney, or New York, or London, or Bombay, or some other hellish material place. But Srila Prabhupada said, we're not living there. He said, I'm not in Los Angeles, I'm always in Goloka Vrindavan. So how are we going to always be in Vrindavan consciousness? How are we going to be in Mayapur consciousness? This is why we go on parikrama. This is why we are meant to read Prabhupada's books repeatedly, so that our minds become absorbed in such meditation. Then actually we can follow Rupa Goswami. You cannot follow Rupa Goswami simply in a mechanical way. It is a question of following through the heart. The heart has to become set in the right way. You have to be in the consciousness constantly of meditating on the Lord. Otherwise, you can't perform the type of devotion that Lord Chaitanya came to teach. It is not a devotion which is based simply on, okay, it's time to get up, I have to go to Mangal Arti, okay, now I better chant my rounds or I'll be disobeying my Guru's order. Okay, now I have to go out. As long as you're thinking like this, we are not yet Rupanugas. What is a real Rupanuga Vaishnava? Someone who naturally cannot wait but to see the deity, the beautiful form of the deity, who is looking for more and more opportunity to serve the devotees, who wants to come to the Holy Dham and feels himself to be in the middle of a desert without the association of the devotees. In other words, someone who is feeling intense pain for not being Krishna conscious, that person has a natural desire. I want to serve more and more. Still, he's not yet a Rupanuga Vaishnava, because it has to come to such an intense stage, very, very intense stage, just like we see in the attitude of Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami and the 6 Goswamis, they're always calling out to Krishna, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? But we're not calling out like that. We're calling out to our friends, our family members, so many others. But we're not calling out to Krishna. We have no feeling of longing or separation. And therefore, it is very hard to get Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. So, now we should understand something for why Krishna comes in this world. First of all, we explained the verse, Raso Vaisaha Rasam Hi Evayam Labdavanadi Bhavati. The Lord is Rasa himself, and attaining that Rasa, the Jiva becomes blissful. There's a verse in the Bhagavatam which states about how different persons perceived Krishna in different ways in the arena of Kamsa. When Krishna entered into the arena of Kamsa to kill Kamsa, there were so many persons assembled there. But they all saw Krishna in different ways. How did they see him? Krishna's mother and father, they saw him in one way. What was that? They saw him in 2 ways. 2 types of rasas, one main and one secondary. Primary rasa is called Vatsalya ras, right? Father and motherly affection. But there was another thing also. What was that? No. Karuna. Compassion. Karuna ras. They felt compassion, seeing how unfair the situation was and what is going to happen to my little child. Different people saw him in different ways. The wrestlers saw him as a lightning bolt. The men of Mathura saw him as the best of all males. The women as Cupid in person, Cupid personified. The cowherd men as their relative. The impious rulers as a chastiser. Different persons saw him. All 12 rasas were being experienced by the people in that wrestling arena when they saw Krishna enter. How many primary rasas are there? And how many secondary rasas? Altogether 12. So, there were 10 kinds of persons, and they saw him in 12 ways, because some saw him in 2 different ways. Just like the friends of Krishna saw him in a mood of friendship, and some dasya, mood of servitudeship. And the elders saw him with vatsalya and karuna, and then all others saw him in one way. So Krishna comes, why? To taste all of these rasas, and therefore another name for Krishna is Rasik Shekhar. He's the best of Rasika personalities. Just like when you're very thirsty and someone gives you a very tasty drink, you relish it. But Krishna is Rasika Shekhar. He is the jewel, crest jewel of all relishers. He knows how to drink the nectar of his devotees' love. And he's Parama Karuna. He wants to taste the Madhurya feature. He wants to taste very sweet feature. So, as a result, this Karuna, what is the meaning of Karuna? Compassion. So, Krishna's compassion is, he wants to taste the sweet nectar and he wants to bestow it on all others. And therefore, he's Parama Karuna. Who else is called Parama Karuna? And who else? What is the song? Nitai Gaurajan. Parama Karuna, Pauji Jana, Nitai Gaurachandra. Remember in Atlanta? Were you there? And Prabhupada came to Atlanta in 1975, and he sat down in front of Gaurnatai and he started to sing this song, and tears came from his eyes, and he became stunned and he couldn't even talk anymore. And he said, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda are so merciful. Why are they so merciful? Why is Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda so merciful? What would you answer? What's the answer? No, you know everything. He is the professor of this course. I have stolen all these things from him, and now I'm teaching as if I'm the teacher, but he's the actual professor. Yes, actually that is the answer. He saves the most fallen. But you see, what is the mercy he's given? He's freely distributing this rasa. He's freely distributing this relishable nectar of Raja Bhakti. Otherwise, for delivering sinful people, did Lord Chaitanya have to come? Every avatar does it. Why? Krishna did it already. Why did Krishna feel the need to come again? Because although he sarva dharmam parityaja mamekam saranam braja aham tvam sarva papyo, he already said, I'm going to protect all those and free them from their sins. But freeing from sin is not the highest boon. What is a higher boon than that? Giving love for Krishna. And what kind of love? Vraj Bhakti love. So this is a sign of Lord Chaitanya's compassion. Now everyone wants bliss, ananda. Everyone wants this type of blissful ananda. But we should understand what is the difference between sukha and ananda. What does sukh mean? But what is the difference between sukh and ananda? Ananda means to understand one's relationship with Krishna. Now, what is the special quality of Braja Bhakti? There's a very special point here. Huh? In Braja, Ananda runs after all the devotees. Normally, everywhere else, the devotees are chasing Ananda, trying to get this happiness. But in Vrindavan, Ananda runs after the devotees. It is a reversal. That means, why do we say this? Because who is Krishna? Krishna is the Ananda Swarup. He's the form of bliss. And in Vrindavan, Krishna chases the devotees. Krishna embraces his mother. Krishna is playing with his friends. Krishna is chasing after the gopis. Everywhere else, everyone is chasing after Krishna. But not in Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, it's a reversal of roles. The devotee becomes superior to Krishna, and Krishna subordinates himself, and he is chasing after the devotee. And this is what Mahaprabhu came to give. Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya, has come to give us that highest bliss. He is a distributor. He's Ananda Murti. He is the Murti, the form of personified bliss. It poured out of his body. That's why anyone who came anywhere near Lord Chaitanya got this. And Rupa Goswami is so merciful. He's more merciful than Lord Chaitanya because he delivered everyone, not only those he met personally, but he's delivering the whole universe by his teachings, not only during the time of Lord Chaitanya, but even thereafter. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur begins by offering his obeisances to Srila Rupa Goswami, because he considers that more merciful even than Lord Chaitanya is Rupa Goswami. What is one more point to understand? The difference between Goloka and Gokul. We say Goloka and Gokul are two manifestations of the same place. Only Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says the only difference is what? One is up and the other is down. Which Vrindavan is up? It is called what? Goloka. And which Vrindavan is down? And there's no other difference. But there is one other difference. There is another difference also. That in Gokul, as compared to Goloka, in Goloka, the only persons who could realize the Lord were siddhas, those who were eternally perfect. They're there in the spiritual world. But we see here in Gokul, there were so many persons who were sadhakas, who devotees, perfect devotees. What are they called? Nitya Siddha, Kripa Siddha, and Sadhan Siddha. Siddha means perfect. So in this Gokul, there were so many persons who came from the stage of sadhana bhakti, and they got to personally associate eventually with Krishna and his devotees and get Braj Bhakti. So this is another distinction between Goloka and Gokul. That in Gokul, sadhakas can approach. Of course, not sadhakas like we are. We cannot enter into Krishna's pastimes in Gokul. We're not ready to go to that universe where Krishna is having his pastimes within this material creation. But one day we may be ready. But in Goloka, there's no question of sadhakas. There's no sadhana bhakti in Goloka Vrindavan. Just like somebody said once that in Goloka Vrindavan there are devotees who are performing Raganuga Bhakti. Is it true or not? In Goloka Vrindavan. No, it is not true. In Vrindavan, Goloka Vrindavan, in the spiritual sky, there are only eternal associates of the Lord. There are no persons who are still on the stage of sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti is in this world, not in the spiritual sky. So, this point should be understood then. That sadhana bhakti, by hearing, by chanting, by remembering the Lord's pastimes, again and again and again, we can eventually become qualified to associate with the Lord. So for the purpose of showing these pastimes, Krishna comes in this world. Krishna descends into this world. That is called avatar. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has personally come to teach us the process of hearing and chanting, which is the Yuga Dharma. Now, bhakti. Now we have, these are opening points to understand about, before we take up the subject of bhakti. First of all, obeisances were offered to Lord Chaitanya to explain the meaning of how he is the merciful rain shower. Obeisances are offered to Srila Rupa Goswami, by whose mercy Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is going to give us this explanation. And then obeisances are offered to Krishna, who is the Radha and Krishna, who are the worshipable deities of Rupa Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So tomorrow we will start here that bhakti sanjayat bhaktya sanjataya bhaktya. Bhakti is caused by bhakti. Devotional service comes from what? It comes of its own, devotional service. It doesn't have a material cause. And why that is will be explained tomorrow by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Now, some questions or comments? Yes?
We say Krishna Balaram, only difference is the colour. Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, that one difference is the same?
So Krishna and Balaram, the difference is in color. There's so many differences. You think that's the only difference? One thing is that Balaram is the older brother of Krishna. As an older brother, how can you say he's the same as his younger brother? Balaram is the servant of Lord Krishna. He takes himself as a servant and serves in so many ways. Similarly, Nityananda Prabhu. How do we see Nityananda Prabhu? It's Lord Chaitanya. But how are we meant to see him? Huh? As the best servant of Krishna. And eventually we want to see him just as Srimati Radharani's mood. We see him manifesting the mood of Srimati Radharani. You read Chaitanya Chaitamrita, it comes very clear that the whole inner mood of Lord Chaitanya is always expressing Radharani's emotions. Now, if Radharani's emotions are like this, that are being displayed, then when Radharani is present, where is Balaram? Far away. So one who sees Lord Chaitanya like this, how does he see Lord Nityananda? He sees him as the elder brother and as the spiritual master. So this mood is also there. As Gaur and Nitai, they are coming to do preaching work. But we see that they have another purpose also. They have a dual purpose. On the one hand, externally, their purpose is to deliver the fallen souls. But internally, their purpose is to relish devotional mellows. And Lord Chaitanya's purpose is to relish the mellows of Srimati Radharani. And Lord Nityananda's purpose is to relish the mellows of whom? But as Balaram, generally, we see him with his cowherd friends. And therefore, when Lord Chaitanya began to display his mood as Radharani, what happened between Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda? Lord Nityananda stayed in Bengal, and Lord Chaitanya went to Puri. We don't see Nityananda in the Gambhira, because when Radharani is there, Balaram is not there. When the elder brother will never come around at the time that his younger brother and wife are together like that, or lover are together like that. So, there are so many differences between Krishna and Balaram and Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. But we have so much regard for Lord Nityananda. We have the utmost regard for him. Highest regard for him as our spiritual master. He is the original spiritual master.
We are following the first teaching and tasting that form of devotional service. But the Lita and the Shakra and the eight Sakis, they are sort of more immediately involved in the relationships of Radha and Krishna. So it appears sometimes that I've heard at least devotees say that the manjaris there's an element of dasya in their relationship with Radha and Krishna. Is that really? Would that really be the case?
The question is that what is the mood of the maidservants of Srimati Radharani? Are they in the same mood as the gopis? You see on our altar Radha Madhava and the 8 gopis. So all of these gopis have direct relationship with Krishna. But Radharani's maidservants do not. They have the mood of being in servitor mood. That's true. Dasya. Towards whom? Towards Radharani. But because of that, What does the master or mistress do? What does the queen share? She shares her prasadam with all of her servants. So whatever Radharani is tasting, she is giving to her maidservants. And she doesn't give it to her friends, she gives it to her maidservants. What she personally tastes, she doesn't distribute to her friends because her friends are her equals. Just like if you are sitting, if a guru and godbrothers are sitting, will the remnants of that guru be given to his godbrothers? It's not proper. But he'll give it to his servants. So the position of being a maidservant is much better and more fortunate. And actually, even the other gopis wish they could be in that position. So although you may be right in saying that it's in the mood of a maidservant, but still they get to experience or taste whatever their queen is experiencing. And therefore they're called Kamanuga. They're Kamatmika. They're all counted as Kamatmika devotees. In nectar devotion, they're all included in that. There's two stages. Sambandhatmika and Kamatmika. Both are listed. And Sambandhanuga and Kamanuga. They're all in the category of Kamanuga. So if they don't have Kam, they can't just be Dasi if they have the mood of Kam. It's also Madhurya. It's a mixture of both. Actually, it's Madhurya. But their mood is just like the explanation is given as a creeper has so many leaves on it. So when the creeper is vibrating, the leaves are vibrating. Have you seen that tulsi plant? If you shake the table and the tulsi plant shakes, the manjaris are also shaking. Everything is shaking on the plant. So whatever Radharani is that golden creeper embracing Krishna. So whatever she experiences, they're all experiencing that. The manjaris are experiencing that. They're completely identified with the feelings of Radharani. So actually it's not Dasya. Because Dasya, as you're speaking about, is Aishvarya. And they don't feel that way. They have no Aishvarya Bhav. They don't think at all in terms of awe and reverence. The Manjaris don't have awe and reverence, an awe and reverential mood. They're very, very intimate. If they had awe and reverence, they could never do the services they do for Radharani and Krishna. The services they do are more confidential than the services the gopis do. So it's not that type of dasa. It's Madhurya. Is that in ISKCON we see Prabhupada stressed the worship of Gaur Nitai, whereas in most Gaudiya Mats, some have Gaur Nitai, but most of them have only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Radha Krishna. Because for the purpose of delivering the conditioned souls all over the world, Gaur Nitai's mercy is essential. Without Nityananda Prabhu, no one can have relationship with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Prabhupada's mission is the most broad mission of all. It's the most important mission to deliver everyone, and therefore he's extending directly the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. At least it was not, perhaps it is not felt in the same way by how the Gaudiya Mats. Without Lord Nityananda, nobody could do anything in the Western world. Preaching mission is a failure. So Prabhupada knew Nityananda Prabhu is more merciful than Lord Chaitanya. And Prabhupada wanted to give Lord Nityananda's mercy to the whole world. So he established Gaur Nitai. But he always put Gaur Nitai in a separate altar. Whereas in the Gaudiya Mat, their purpose is different. I mean, generally, they only have one deity. So they have Radha, just like Prabhupada actually did the same thing here in Mayapur. He did not establish Gaur Nitai here. He established Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Radha Madhava, the same way as was done in the Gaudiya Mats. And what is the meaning? Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. He wanted to show that Lord Chaitanya is in fact Radha and Krishna combined together. And worship of Gaur Nitai is for a different purpose, that they're in the mood of giving mercy, delivering the mercy. They're both coming in preaching mood together. So it is a different mood. So we're following, this is the right way for preaching. For preaching, we take Gaur Nitai. We don't travel with Radha and Krishna, we travel with Gaur Nitai. To travel with Radha and Krishna means only Lord Chaitanya. Radha and Krishna means Lord Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, Nahi Anya. But we're going in preaching mood, that means Gaur Nitai. Anyway, wherever Lord Chaitanya is, Nityananda is within his heart. So we should not think something is so dissimilar. It may even be in a purport by Prabhupada, in Chaitanya Chaitamrita. But because the point is that Lord Chaitanya is eternal and Radha and Krishna eternal. You cannot say that once upon a time there was only Radha and Krishna, and then Krishna wanted to experience the feelings of Srimati Radharani, and for this reason, for the first time, Lord Chaitanya appeared. Is that true or not? No, it can't be true, because Lord Chaitanya is eternal. There was never a time when he did not exist. Yes, because God is originally one. So who is that one God? That's Lord Chaitanya. He is the original form. Therefore, the right answer is Jagadananda Pandit, that one cannot say who came first. They're both first. And that's actually the reality. In Goloka Vrindavan, Radha and Krishna and their associates are there, and in the central island of that place is Lord Chaitanya and his associates. And eternally they're all there present, simultaneously. And if we are perfect and wonderful devotees, we dedicate our life to preaching Krishna consciousness, working hard to expand the ISKCON movement all over the world, then if we're very fortunate and we have very strong attachment, then one day, at some future time, we may be qualified to enter into both Radha and Krishna's pastimes and Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that one can get two forms. In one form, he can be with Radha and Krishna in their Leela, and in one form with Lord Chaitanya in his Leela. Same time. Simultaneously. Just like you see Narad Muni has so many forms. Narada Muni is offering Purusha Shukta prayers. Narada Muni is going into 16,000 palaces at the same time. The devotees of the Lord are so specially empowered that they can assume any number of forms necessary to serve the Lord. So 2 forms is nothing. If necessary, you can get more than 2. But then it depends upon your inner feelings. If you are more attached to Radha and Krishna, then if you get to be able to go back to Godhead, you get it eternally in that pastime. Or more attached to Lord Chaitanya, you can enter into the Gaur Leela. Or if you're equally attached to both, then in both. How we develop the 26 qualities of a devotee, and how do we develop Braj Bhakti? We have all 26 qualities, but not have Braj Bhakti. But if you have Braj Bhakti, you will surely have all 26 qualities. So the best thing is to go to Vrindavan, roll in the dust of Vrindavan, go to Govardhan, circumambulate Govardhan, bathe in the Jamuna, pray to all the trees, and pray for Braj Bhakti. And if you get Braj Bhakti, then surely you will have all 26 qualities of a pure devotee. But even if you get all the 26 qualities of a pure devotee, you may not get Braj Bhakti. But first of all, you have to chant 16 rounds every day. You have to chant 16 rounds and follow the 4 principles. Otherwise, it will become Sahajya. The Sahajyas are in Vrindavan, but they don't have the 26 qualities of a pure devotee, and they don't have Braj Bhakti. So just living in Vrindavan doesn't guarantee it. Unless you're a very strict sadhaka. This is the difference. The 6 Goswamis were the most powerful sadhakas of all. There was no question of them breaking any practices. They chanted so many rounds. So many rounds. 64, 128 rounds, 3 lakhs. They did sadhana. We cannot imagine how they did sadhana. They were so strict devotees. We should be so strict. Just like I gave one example many years ago in a Vyas Puja offering. I said that Prabhupada's tilak is so straight, right? Just like his rigid performance of the devotional practices. So the Vaishnavas, they like to put very straight tilak on. Don't they? Most people's tilak can't even be seen anymore. Anyway, we should be very rigid in our performance of sadhana bhakti. Practice sadhana bhakti strictly, preach Krishna consciousness, distribute books, distribute prasadam, do harinam, associate nicely with the devotees, and then roll in the dust of Vrindavan. But if you don't roll in the dust of Vrindavan, you will certainly be very dry. Don't you agree? Now I have no more power. I was simply acting like a puppet. Now the puppeteer is leaving and I'm going to droop. Any other questions?
You said that if one is more attached to God in the spiritual world, he will go there, and if more attached to it. But you also said that first one should have love for Mahaprabhu, and then Mahaprabhu will reveal himself that he is non-different God. He is actually rather than Krishna. So
first, follow Nityananda Prabhu. That means take part in the Sankirtan movement. Now, it is time to go. It is 12 o'clock. We will talk later on more. Tomorrow I will be on time at 10. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.